Cearcalóir. So Táid chun fécant Aiste atá anna úsáideach agus anna generálta fad agus is topic coachínta é seo. This is a common topic to have, and this essay will cover you for a few different variations. So os fihe seo bhí an tedal seo an bápéir scrúdathe if 2005. Agus an tedal ná na cúiseanna móra imní atá ag daoine óga faoi láthair. Cúiseanna are causes, so cúiseanna móra, big causes for imní. Imní can mean anxiety or concern. Ag daoine óga, for young people, faoi láthair at the moment. So what are the big causes for concern for young people in today's world, we'll say. So any of these other titles would you be covered for, and you could use this, and of course you'll have to tweak it slightly here and there, and we always want to use the words of the actual statement and the title. We want to kind of knit that somewhere into the essay as you go through it, if you really want to maximize your marks. So the following topics, if you got any of the following essay titles, you'll be able to use this essay for. So Fadhbanna móra na Linne seo, so big problems of this generation, which came up in 2021. A couple of other samples on Aib is mó sa tucky inniu, the biggest problem in society today. Na dúchláin is mó in our sucky inniu. There should be an I and a U at the end of that word there. But the biggest challenges in our society today. And a title that came up in Fihe Dó is Sucky na Héireann sa lá atá inniu Society of Ireland in today's world. Okay, so here we go. Pen at the ready. You're writing in translations for this. There's tons of new phrases. Tá lán frásí, tá stór focal. And this is going to be one of your essays that you will have prepared. Okay, so lovely opening phrase here. Níl doubt ar bit ann. There is no doubt. Ach go bhfuil cúiseanna móra imní ag daoine óga faoi láthair. But that there are big causes for concern and anxiety for young people today, or at the moment. So immediately mirroring the title of that. Think how you can adapt that to the other four sample titles. Tá an scéal amhlaidh ó thosaigh pandéma coronavirus I mí márta fihe. This has been the case since the coronavirus started in 2020. Bhí daoine idir óg agus Aiste anna imníoch. Go deo, people, young and old, were very anxious altogether. Go deo. Fa na mblianta sin. There is an M, an uru missing before the B. Fa na mblianta in a year sin, for years after that. Chael dalti 3 V scoile. Students missed out on 3 months of school. Agus an ábhar sin bhí siad tharbheith imníoch ag fille an scoil tar éis an todhraí. And because of this, an ábhar sin, for that reason, they were very anxious returning to school after the summer. Tar éis an todhraí. Okay, that's a nice tishel ginneach. Tar éis an todhraí. Saura changes to todhraí in the tishel ginneach. Okay, full stop. Bhí gach rud a bhí fálamtha acu, darmata acu. Everything they had learned, they had forgotten. Ag an buinte sin at that point. Tar éis an tíl, bhí sé bhí imethe ó bhí siad ag stadéir sa seomra ranga. After the tar éis an tíl? I would say tar éis na pandéma, or tar éis na hachtra, after the event would be a better phrase there. So you'll change that. Bhí sé bhí imethe ó bhí siad ag stadéir sa seomra. It had been 6 months since they had studied or learnt in a classroom. Next paragraph. Ina cheanta sin, bhí orthú dailál le Fadhbanna agus le constaí nua. In addition to that, lovely phrase, ina cheanta sin, bhí orthú, they had to, dailál le Fadhbanna, deal with problems, agus le constaí nua, and with new obstacles. A bhí rumpu sna scolanna, that were before them in schools. Bhí orthú glacha le scara sosialta, they had to accept social distancing. Le pucini no clúdig aige a chahabh scol, and to wear masks in school. Fa an lei for the day. Agus gan cead acu ein cadrh sosialta a bheith acu le na chéide, and not permitted to have any social contact with each other school ná lasmuid an school, in school or outside of school. So it's a crazy thought, isn't it, guys? It seems like it never happened. When we were going around, mascana, of course, is not the correct word. It's, if you want to be really correct, it's clúdig aige. Okay. Alt nua. Bhí sé thar a bheith deacair an níord a dhíriú na ceachtainna le Linne an Range. It was very difficult to focus their attention on the lessons during classes. Bhí clúdig aige a gahabh ag an gcuid is mód na múntóirí. Most of the teachers were wearing face masks, agus bhí sé deacair iad a thuiscint, and it was difficult to understand them. Bhí ranganna áirithe an dhéanamh Zoom. Some classes were being conducted or were done on Zoom. Now, instead of saying Zoom there, guys, you could just say Linne, online. Agus déiteach na ranganna sin a bheith ladránach uaireanta, and those classes could be boring sometimes. That's if people came to the classes already, because it was a disaster. Ní raibh cead acu dul amach as an scóil ag amlán. They were not allowed to leave the school at lunchtime. Agus nuair a bhí dín glasáil I bhaim, and when the lockdown was in place, agus bhí an gymnasium agus an cuairt ladóige dúnta freisin. Take out that agus. Nuair bhí sé I bhaim, bhí an gymnasium agus an cuairt ladóige dúnta freisin. The gymnasium, or the gym, and the tennis courts were closed as well. Feel free to change any of those, guys, to something else that was closed. Okay, moving along. Ag an pointe seo, at this point, bhfuailm leirt faoi me haithí féin mar galta scoile. At this point, I would like to talk about my own experience as a student, agus an imní a bhí orm go minic, and the anxiety that I felt often. Tá níon drámaíocht go mórlam, ach cuireann na rangan na drámaíochta im a scol ceall de bhór na pandéime. I enjoy drama very much, but the drama classes were cancelled, ceall, or postponed because of the pandemic, de bhór na pandéime. Chomá le sin, as well as that, bhí aring or gcuid oberwáile a dhéanamh an riomhre. We had to do our homework on a computer, agus barud é sin nóir hathan lum an éoncur, and that was something I did not enjoy at all. Obviously, the alternative is ag scríb I go player. So you can adapt that, change it. Dar go mórlam scríb I go player agus bhí aring a dhéanamh a riomhre. Something like that. Last muid an scol, outside of school, bhí cuasaí ní bhesa fós. Things were worse again. An dá chluithe a imríimse, hacha agus ladóg, curú ceall iad freisin. The two games that I play, hockey and tennis, were cancelled as well, or postponed. An tain clochta, curp a bhí fáil dumsa ná sputta, mawadra, mafiata madra. The only form of exercise that I had was my pet dog, Spot. A chuirt amach ag siúil faoi go gach lá, bringing him out twice a day, every day. Madra le cábhaimsre agus saol sosialta. So regarding hobbies and social life, ná déan darmid orthú, don't forget them. Ní éting dul ag sipadórach tróna dé Saturn. I could not go shopping on Saturday evening. Maar bhí fómhór na siopaí dúnta, because most of the shops were closed. An scéal céine madidir leis na picturealanna, same situation with the cinemas, na tithe torne agus na clubanna ihe, with pubs and nightclubs. Bhí imní an downer an freisin go bhféiting an coronavirus a thulaga. I was also afraid or anxious that I would contract the coronavirus. See that? A thulaga, that I would contract it, or I would get it. Agus mo wamo, agus ma hishmahori a unautu. There's a fancy word for you. And I was afraid I would infect my grandmother and parents. Kush imni doing galer atas na dega. No, nach my pushed fort Aimshire agan dun and Sarah Shahogan. Another cause of concern is that we won't have summer jobs. Now, of course, we're past this now, guys, so some of the stuff you won't really include. Ní bhaimid ábalta tastal haar lár hor ibra ach. We will not be able to travel abroad looking for work either. Okay? Now, here's where you can change it. Instead of saying we won't be able to do it, you could say, oh, thankfully we will be able to do it. Ach, buchas le dia, anish, baimid ábalta tastal haar lár, baimid ábalta dullamach, baimid ábalta dulgadi and fictorna. Okay, so you see how you can just adapt this, okay, because it's all relevant and it's all good gaelga and it's all good sentence structure, okay? Cuireann sé seo as go mór dum. This bothers me. Mar níl cent rua fáca ma cuntas buink faoin am seo, because I haven't a red cent left in my bank account. Chomála sin táim anna imneach ar fad faoin tauchaí. By sé anjacker turhi maha awantamach san orteist. I am also, it is also difficult to get good results in the leaving cert. Leis an mrú agus an stress a gaan leis an coronavirus. Okay, with the stress and the pressure associated with the coronavirus. Now, here's where you can say, well, that's not the case for you, but you do still feel that you've missed out on something because rinne ní arna tú screw the start riamh. You haven't done any state exams, so you've missed out on that. Chail mé amach screw the start a dhéanamh faoi chanílacha screw the under exam conditions. So yeah, you guys are at a disadvantage, and that's how you can adapt it. Ma airí lim freastal ar an old school, níor bhaithlim a bheith I me iní léin fiú le freastal ar leachtaí ar Zoom. If I manage to get to go to college, I would not like to be iní léin. I would not like to be iní léin is I wouldn't like to be a student, because I wouldn't be a real student like if I was doing lectures on Zoom. Immer cheomra cuddalta lá a níl lei in my bedroom day after day. Is gone ein cadrh ná teagháil a gum le mo chóscoilóirí, and without having any contact with my classmates. Mo chóide ná mo léachtóirí. So, or without having any one-to-one contact. Okay, so we'll have to adapt some of this, but that's fine. It's a good exercise, guys, because it means that your essays will be slightly different. That will be a little bit of a variation. Okay, Darira Pira. Well, like Darira Pira means seriously, is biog kush áthais atá im a héal faoi láthair. I have little happiness in my life at the moment. Ní leann ach scoilíocht stadéir agus scrúdathe. It's all it is schooling, study and exams, agus níl agus faic na fríde eile and little else. Ní haíine gwilmid go Willemse. It's no surprise that I am, agus na daoine eile atá hartarm and the other people around me in near na fedge at the end of our tether. Agus ag dul as our meabhar na himni agus le burt I díomh an na tauchaí. That we're We're going out of our minds with anxiety and worry regarding the future. Dave Natawaki. Okay, last paragraph here. And you always start your last paragraph with that lovely phrase there, Mar Uckle Square, as a final word. Is beag solas atá anán don éisóg ag an am I láthair. San am I láthair. There is little solace, or there's little like respite, or little relief for the young people today. Níl in our sail ach imní agus trus. All we have in our lives is worry and stress. But bhrálam a bheith críochnathe leis an scoil fad. I'd love to be finished with school altogether. Tá mig tanú go mór leis an vaccine all. Agus an ruige chur an vírus damanta seo go Joe. Okay, so here's definitely something you're not going to use. I look forward to getting the vaccine and getting shut and getting rid of this disease altogether. Mar Darren Shanachel. Ag tús na hacaide is fussa I a lice. So the nice Shanachel there is at the start. If you catch a disease at the beginning, it's easier to get a hold of it, and it's easier to cure, to nip it in the bud, I suppose. Má leister an acid grana seo galua by misha erwinamwike. If this virus is fixed soon, I will be very, very happy. Okay, so again, so there's some adapting to do in this. Okay, so that's your challenge for this. Yes, there's a good structure here. Yeah, there's great vocabulary, but you have to adapt and you have to change it when you're writing your final draft and your final version of this. Okay, Good night, Lat.